Welcome. Bienvenue to Business as Unusual, a digital conference by Innovation C. These unusual times are slowly coming to an end. Yet is this really the end? Even when the restrictions are relaxed tomorrow, things won't be the same. We still need to be extremely careful to prevent this virus from spreading. Over the past months, our life changed. One message was clear: stay home. Queda casa. That sounds easy, right? Turned out to be much harder. Not even, not only the children needed to stay home, but also the employees and the elderly. A lot of things changed along the way. And one of the big impacts that this COVID crisis had was a big impact on the economy and the way we do business. In the first edition of the digital conference series, we discussed remote and thriving, how you can work from home and how you can continue to be productive. Today, we're going to see the other side of the story. We're going to ask business owners and employees how they experience the situation and how they maintain functional in these times. We're going to discuss with four different business owners and employees how they also remain true to their core values and their identity and how they handle these quick changes. Before we're going to dive into that, there are a couple things I'm going to discuss. The first one is a small issue we had 2 weeks ago with the Big Marker platform. Initially, we started here at Livestorm, but because we wanted to have more people, we decided to change to Big Marker. Turns out, internet on Curaçao isn't able to handle that. So we're back to Livestorm. It feels a little bit like home to me. So before that, I would like to do a quick check-in with everybody. Monique, Bontardi, how's everybody doing? Going to share my screen and walk everybody through the schedule for today. So as mentioned, we have four different employees and business owners today. We're going to start with the Path Forward by Haydee Klein. Afterwards, Somesh Nagdev is going to tell Your Story Matters. Desi Dijkhuizen will see with Dcommunicates. Afterwards, Kirchner, you guys have seen him a lot of times, will speak about humanity and technology. How are you doing, Suzette? Hey, Erika, good to see you again. The people that have been here before know that we always start with a check-in question to see where everybody is at and to check the temperature of everybody. So as the restrictions are going to be relaxed tomorrow, I'm going to ask this question to you, and I want you to reflect really well. Which unusual things should become the new regular? So which things that we changed because of COVID-19 are things that might be better for us to continue doing, even after COVID-19? Please write it in your comments, write it out in the chat. Let us know what you think should become the new regular. And while we're doing that, we're going to take 5 very deep breaths to relax. Everybody came here because they wanted to. Nobody is here because a boss or anybody else tells them you need to go to this conference. We're all on the same wavelength here. So let's take a couple deep breaths. And 2. I see a lot of people writing out remote working and online payments. I think that's an interesting point, the online payments part especially. It's almost impossible to believe that we don't do as many online payments in Curaçao compared to other countries. I'm currently in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, and over here it's completely normal to order everything online. I know people that don't even do groceries anymore. It seems Monique has issues with connecting. Andy, can you take a look? So my biggest change, and the thing I would like to keep regular, is the freedom to plan your day. And with that, I mean not having to be forced in a 9-to-5 mentality and really being able to schedule your own week. If you would like to work on Sunday, or if you feel more comfortable working at night, I think these are things that we should allow more people to do. especially jobs that are not synchronized. You don't need to be in front of a desk. It's just a research job or anything else. I think it should become the new regular that people are free to decide when they work and where they work. All right, thanks for the check-ins, everybody. I'm going to invite the first speaker on stage, Haydee Klein.
Hello, hi.
Hello, Haydee. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm really happy to have you. You're
Yeah.
so positive. I just know you now for 12 minutes
Oh,
approximately.
wow.
But in these 12 minutes, I already feel that you're full of energy and positivity.
Yes, thank
And
you.
I'm really curious to see how you experience the situation and how you're moving forward.
Yes,
So
yes.
good luck.
I will share it with you. Thank you. Um, I'm going to share my presentation. I'm going to, let's see, choose media. Yes, that's me, people. That's me standing in Otrobanda, one of my favorite places here on the island. I couldn't do it for a long time, and tomorrow we're open again, so I will be able to do it. Although I don't think I'm going to Otrobanda tomorrow because it will be very, very, very busy. So, as Luuk already mentioned, my name is Haydee Klein. I am a business owner. I have my own company. I have my small consultancy boutique, like I call it. It's called Gratida Management Services. I've had it for 5 years now. I've been for 5 years. I've been an entrepreneur. Before that, I worked in a company, in different companies, and now I am doing this. And what does Gratida do? We give consultancy services. We also do the training programs, training employees, training business owners, starting their businesses, and working on any of the ideas they have. And also we do coaching, one-on-one coaching. So let's see the path forward. What are we going to do today? It has been a roller coaster these past 5 years. It has been really a roller coaster. There has been ups, there have been downs. And now with the COVID-19, I call it crisis or situation, it was a pretty deep down because one of the things, the struggles that happened was that actually I lost almost all of my business the way it used to be. I'm going to tell a little bit more about that later, but the first thing that came to mind when I was having this situation was the movie Finding Nemo. So on one of my favorite movies. Yeah. So what came to my mind was when life gets you down, do you want to know what you've got to do? That's what Dory says. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. So when negative things happen, when bad things happen in your life, my way of reacting is going on, keep swimming, looking for solutions in life. So my the challenges, I told you about the challenge that I had, that I lost almost all of my business. I had personal struggles because, well, I'm an introvert. I love staying home. I love being on my own. I love doing things, going to the beach, all of that. But when it became the new normal, when we had the obligation to stay home, it was more difficult than I expected. So I went through different emotions. I went through anger. I went through stress. I went to sadness. And then I became very calm. I was like, okay, it's happening. I can do anything about it. So I must look for solutions. So I started connecting with fellow entrepreneurs, um, talking about, okay, what can we do? What can we change? What can we make our new normal? Yeah, we were already working from home. I also saw that in the chat. People want to remain working from home. Me as well. I've been doing it for a long time. So working from home or working from any cafe. But it must be the new normal. Yeah. So yeah, let me see. Oh yeah. What I wanted to also say was I didn't remain stuck. That was me. At first I was angry and then I continued. And that's one thing that I want to tell you guys. Please don't remain stuck. We're opening tomorrow. We're opening tomorrow here in Curaçao. I don't know in other places, but in Curaçao, we're starting to open. Doesn't mean that we will stay open. That's what I say. But don't stay stuck in that negative part. If you lost your job, if you lost your business, or if you're having difficulties with your business, don't stay stuck. Keep swimming. Keep swimming. Yeah. And find your inspiration. Find inspiration. I found a lot of inspiration through podcasts, through YouTube videos. And the podcast that I love, that I followed a lot, was one of Marie Forleo. She's a lady very specialized in marketing. So I was very stimulated by the information that she gave. I also watch YouTube videos, a lot of YouTube videos, motivational YouTube videos, especially. I read a lot of books. Finally, I had time to read. I love reading. I think you can see it behind me. I have lots of books. Many of them I didn't read. I haven't read them yet. And I am now busy following up on that. Watch any movie. Watch a movie. Relax. Find inspiration through movies. Yeah, movies are not really my thing, but maybe it is for you. Yeah, and connect with others. Yeah, like I said, I connected with others. I have a group that I call the Circle of Influence, or I have many circles of influence, but one of them is a group of ladies. And we knew each other for like 1 year and a half. And during this crisis, we even found each other even more. So we were inspired by each other. We were held accountable by each other. Yeah, and also your circle of influence, also about the people that you surround yourself with. So I have that group of ladies, but I also have my friends. I also have my family, the people that keep me accountable, that call me out when they need to call me out. Yeah, when I become negative, because I became negative, they call me out. They say, hey, you can't stay in this situation. What's going on? You're not like that. You're a positive person. You're always a positive person. So why? Why are you like this? Yeah, so you need people. Yeah, besides that you have your business, besides that you work for someone, but you also need people around you that keep you accountable, that tell you the truth, tell you the way it is. Yeah? And with this crisis, there were new opportunities that came. Yeah, what happened here? I need to go back. Yes, new opportunities that came along. Yes, one opportunity that I had, for example, was that I could come up with new products, new services. I was already online, but not the way I have been for the past few weeks. Yeah, so I came up with, for example, a 2 for 1. Yeah, or you can also call it a buy one, give one. So one person buys a training or buys a consultancy session with me, and I give one to a person that really needs it, that cannot pay for that service. Yeah, so that's one way that I try to innovate. All of my trainings, I'm giving them online now. Yeah, so after we open, I can still continue giving them online. So that was one real opportunity that I had, and also I could work on many projects that I left. Yeah, so I'm busy writing a book now, another book, because in the past I've written a book already, but I'm writing a book. So those are all new opportunities, yeah, that you need to embrace, because yeah, this happens, but we need to continue. We need to keep swimming. And another thing, that's my acronym that I use, GIVE. Gratida, it stands for gratitude, but it also stands for giving back. So, of course, it needs to be monetized, it needs to be sustainable. But besides that, there are always people we need, or let me put it like this, we need to close the gap that we have between people. We need to close a gap that we have between people that can pay and people that cannot pay. So that is something that my company, that I and my company, that we really stand for, to give. Yeah, so the give, the G for me stands for gratitude. To practice gratitude, be grateful for everything that you have. I am grateful for having a roof above my head. That's first. I'm grateful for having my company still, that I still have it, even though this COVID situation happened. I have it. I'm working in it. Yeah, it's not always easy, but I have it. I have food on the table. Yeah, I have this laptop that I can talk to you now. I have this internet that I can connect with you. Yeah, so that's also a part of the path forward. Rem- Reminding yourself of what you have and being grateful. Yeah, keep innovating. Keep innovating in yourself, and if you have a company, keep innovating in your business as well. Come up with new products and services and listen to the clients that you have. Listen to what they want and then keep innovating. Focus on the excellence that you offer. Focus on the quality of the service that you're giving. Yeah, so that's the I. And the V, the keeping your values high. You know yourself, you know what you stand for. Many times in crisis, it might be that you will accept, or not that you will accept, but that people offer you things that normally you wouldn't accept. So you need to know yourself, you need to know what your values are, you need to know what you stand for. And keep those values that you have, keep them high. If that means that a client comes to you and they want you to do something, or that a coworker comes to you, wants you to do something that normally you wouldn't do, that you can say no. That's very important. Yeah, keeping your values high and showing empathy. Um, During these past 6, 7, 8 weeks of the COVID situation that we had here in Curacao, I came to understand, or I understood it before, but I came more to understand that all of us have a story. All of us have something that we're going through. Some of us are angry. Some of us are still angry. Some of us are very happy. So we're all going through something, and we need to try to show each other empathy. Be there for each other. Yeah. And another thing that, by the way, my company is also giving. I talked about my company, Gratida Management Services, but I also have a concept that was introduced in February already. So now it's like 3 months. It has to do with giving back, and it has to do with connecting people with each other, and also sharing knowledge with those people. So that concept is about, I call it Power Hour. And one service that I give in Power Hour is a Power Hour breakfast, which is a free of charge breakfast that takes place every first Monday of the month. And during that breakfast, we invite a speaker. So every month there's another speaker, and they will give their talk, their speech, and they will try to connect all the participants with each other. And so it's free of charge, but there's a but. We ask everyone that joins that Power Hour breakfast to give something to a good cause, or to a charity of that particular month. So this month we had it in May. We had it last Monday actually. It looks like a long time ago, but it was also was 3 days ago. And in May we asked every participant if they could transfer a certain a part of a donation, not a part, but a donation to the Stichting Alzheimer Curaçao. Yeah, so that is also a way of connecting different organizations, different people in need, organizations that that live of donations, and connecting them with the businesses or the employers and the employees in those businesses. Yeah. Oh, here. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm very happy when I look at this slide. I have to laugh because it's important to make time for anything that you do that you love. So I love walking, I love hiking, I love just sitting and looking at the water at the beach. I love not painting, but actually I love coloring even more. So anything that I can get my hands on to color, you will find me coloring. So this is all I did during this crisis, and also reading. So I told you already about reading. I love reading. Give me a book and I will read it. So I read any genre. So not only self-help, but also novels, anything that I can find my hands on. I read it. And there's light at the end of the tunnel. I believe that we went through a crisis. I believe that we all had our particular struggles and challenges during this crisis with our companies, and that we need to adapt. We need to come up in ways of in terms of business, coming up with new business models, coming up with innovations in order for us to be able to grow, and that in case anything like this happens again, that we know how to adapt, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I thank you very much for for the attention. And please, if you want to stay in touch, here's all my information. I have a LinkedIn page, my personal LinkedIn. I've shared with you my Facebook page of Gratida. I've shared with you my Power Hour Curaçao Facebook page. I have a website as well. And you can also send me an email, or in the chat or question box, you can ask me your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Not thank you're the one to thank. Thank you for the
Okay.
presentation. I love how honest and open you were and how you
Thank
showed
you.
empathy and connecting. I think I speak for all of us that we feel much more connected to you now after your presentation.
Thank you.
Especially the one give one take one. I think that's a very inspiring concept.
Thank
I know
you.
that in Aruba they have a campaign called District something, and what they do is like different
Okay.
consultants and trainers. They give an hour, a couple of hours for the community,
Mm-hmm.
because they kind of pull it together so they find the right combinations. I think in Curacao we have this as well with Minagoshi and the KFK.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
was wondering from you, how do you do it? How do you find the person that needs help?
I'm finding the people that need help. I'm finding them much easier than I'm finding the ones that do not need help. I did not mention it, but I've always given trainings also to NGOs and to NGOs, so the foundations, and foundations working with people that are less fortunate. So in the past already, I've given trainings and helping people come up with ideas for that, what we call here Loraman, to convert that in real business, and how they can work on their business model, and in order to make it really sustainable. So I've done that in the past, and that's that's the way I came to this. So I know that there are many people that need help, and I know more people actually that need help than the other ones
And the other way
actually.
around.
Yes,
And
yes,
when
the
you
other
say
way
they
around.
need help, is it guidance or is it knowledge, or what is it?
Especially
It's guidance, taking them by the hand and walking
guidance.
them.
Yes, guidance and knowledge, especially that, because I believe you can, for example, you can give people money, but
Mhm.
if you don't give them the guidance, if you don't give them the tools and the knowledge about how they can make that amount of money that they got, how they can make that more. Yeah. So if you don't do that, you won't go anywhere.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I believe in knowledge. I believe in giving people knowledge. I believe in giving them guidance, helping them to become better people, better business people, because some of them have really great ideas, but they just need that guidance.
And do you think that this guidance could be digital as well, or is it much better to do it in person?
Um, you know, there's an issue with that because not everyone has the access to a laptop or to a mobile phone with
Yeah.
strong Wi-Fi. So they work. Maybe they have some data, but that's not enough to give that guidance
Mhm.
all the time. So there are some issues with that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking maybe, I think over the past 2 months, this Innovation C community has grown to over 500 people that are subscribed to the mailing list. And I think there are a lot of consultants and people with relevant experience. And I think it would be a good idea as well for us to think how we can provide something like this
Yes.
from the community. Now that we have everybody together, we can already start looking at problems that we want to solve
Sure.
together. I think that's it. Your time is almost up.
Good.
Thanks again for that wonderful presentation. Again, thank you for being so honest. That's what we
Thank you.
need. We don't need the fluff and the fakeness. We need the real you, the real people, because in the end, we're all just Dories, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Haydee.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye. Wow, that was wonderful. So up next is Somesh. I'm going to welcome him now. Yeah, that was a really good presentation. I already felt from the beginning that her vibe is going to shed over all of us, and I hope that we can continue this during the presentations moving forward. Somesh, are you able? Oh, there you are. How are you doing,
Hi Luke,
Somesh?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. All chill now. All relaxed. Ready to go.
I wish I had a Fitbit on right now so I could measure my heart rate. So I'm pretty nervous, but ready for it.
Yeah, perfect. Again, don't be. We're
Definitely
all just
ready.
humans. We're all here together.
Exactly.
Maybe
Exactly.
before going into your presentation, you're part of a Scannicash team. I know you have quite an important role there. How has it been for you to work under, let's say, a high pace? I know you guys are a startup. You guys are moving fast, um, while being in a lockdown.
Okay. Honestly, things have changed, but at the same time they haven't. So we're always busy, and I honestly love that. And the thing is, the way we approach solutions or problems that's changed, but not the amount of work that we have. And it's honestly very fun working at Scannicash.
Wonderful. What would be the unusual thing that you think will become the new regular?
I think a lot of people that mentioned it already was remote working. I think that's going to be the new norm for us. We work at a digital agency as well. So for those of you that don't know, Scannicash is a part of Profound, and that's a digital agency. So for us, it's a possibility that we have all the time that anyone, if they feel like they need to or they need to handle some personal things as well during the day, they can work remotely, and everyone is very accessible, via WhatsApp, via calling. Everyone's just a call away, and I think that's very important. That when we move to a new remote working future, because I definitely think it will be happening sooner than later, especially now with COVID. This has just sped up that process. That's very important. Being accountable, being reachable when your team needs you or when a client needs you. I think that's the most important thing that's going to change for most businesses, for those that can adapt.
Awesome. All right, I'm not going to hold you up much longer. Good luck with your presentation. Enjoy.
Thank you. Let me load this up. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Innovation C. Thank you, Luke. Honestly, I was nervous before when I was about to start, but I have been reading the comments that we were having in the previous presentation, and they were very positive. I'm very happy to have a positive crowd here today, and everyone's open to learning and improving and being their true self here. So that's something that I personally am very happy with, that we have all these great people on board today, because like Luke mentioned, normally they do have a lot more people, but I strongly believe in quality over quantity. And I think we have a great crowd here today. So my name is Somesh Nagdev. I'm the operations manager slash project manager for another term as well at ScannyCash. I'm 24 years old, and I'm going to talk to you about why your story matters. But I'm going to start by talking a little bit about myself and what my story is, and I hope that it connects with you as well. So, like I said, who am I? I'm Somesh Nagdev. I'm 24 years old, and my mission in life is to help people. I was born in India and raised on Curaçao, and my mission in life is and unlearning these old patterns and learning on how to be better, focusing on self-improvement. This has led me to have some great friends, some cool experiences, and some great memories. Honestly, all these things sound pretty normal to most of you, I'm sure. But the thing is, I value these things very much because growing up, I didn't have them as a child. Especially during this pandemic, I'm valuing them even more because these are the things that are really matter to you at the end, the social connections that you have. All I wanted since when I was a kid, I wanted to be normal and fit in somewhere and to be a part of something. I had a very hard time with accepting myself and being happy with myself. Right now, I can imagine some of you can really relate to this because you were the outcast then too. And you didn't fit in anywhere either. And I'm sure there are some of you that can't relate at all. This was because you were the popular kid in school. So hence the mean girls picture here. The one with that had a lot of friends, the one that got all the girls or guys, whatever you're into, but everyone has had one time in their life that they felt a little out of place, even if it was just for a short time when you were starting a new job and getting used to the way how things go. Everyone has felt out of place for a bit, at least in their life. But okay, I'm not here to bitch, whine, or complain uh, about my past, about being bullied or anything like that, because that's what it is. It's the past. It can be changed. But honestly, I'm happy about that too. I'm grateful about the experiences that I've had and what I've been through. This has led me to have a lot of empathy for what people are going through and being able to want to help them and whatever they're going through. My experiences have led me to be the person who I am today, and the same goes for everyone here as well. Your past and your story are the reason why you are the way you are today. Every decision that you've taken so far has led you to being the person that you are today. Think about it. If you would have gone to a different school, you would have been a completely different person. If you had failed a grade and gotten into a grade later, you probably wouldn't have had the same friends that you had back in high school. And who knows what effect that could have had on your life trajectory. So this is what I'm going to talk to you about partially as well. This is one turn that my life could have taken, the life that I'm living right now. The other is being someone much more worse, someone who would have done any number of bad things in their life just so they could have been accepted by people. This would have been much easier, just getting into some bad stuff. So either anything kind of drugs, any kind of stealing, anything along that lines, just so you could feel that sense of belonging, sense of tribe, a part of a tribe, that everyone actually feels that they need to be accepted. Going back to our evolution days, because before, if you were not part of a tribe, you had to do everything on your own, and you really needed to depend on everyone. You couldn't do everything on your own. Figuring out how you would take care of yourself while you're sleeping, taking care of your offspring, and how to survive in general. Now that we live in modern times, this is much easier. You can order a pizza and it can be at your house in 30 minutes or less. but let's be real. If you're living on Curaçao, it's probably 90 minutes or less. You live in a house or an apartment that you don't need someone to watch out for your watch out for you. You know, watching out for predators, or you can sleep in peace. And you can have a babysitter to watch your kids while you're at work, so you don't have to worry about taking care of them all the time either. There are a lot of solutions in the modern day that you don't need to worry about when taking in the look into the past. Yet, we still all feel that you need to be a part of a tribe. You need to have a sense of belonging, to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, that you feel maybe most of the time since you're even a kid. That was definitely the case with me. Allow me to shift gears with you for a bit, and let's go to the present day. For those of you that don't know, Scanny Cash is a digital raffling solution on the island of Curaçao. It's a loyalty program as well. So what we do every time there's a purchase that you make at one of the participating merchants where we work with, you get a scan. At the end of the month, we have a list of winner. You take part in a raffle, in a digital raffle. That every time you scan, it's the same thing as you getting your invoice, your bon, and throwing it into a buzon, throwing it into a big carton box. And at the end of the month, we go in there and take out all from those raffles, the winners for that month. So that's what Scanny does. So most of us did hear about COVID-19 since January or February, and I'm sure that most of us didn't even take it that seriously at first. Let's be honest with ourselves. Most of us probably even said, the ones that are living on Curaçao, even if it does become a thing, something like that is probably not going to hit Curaçao. Curaçao is probably safe. Curaçao is always lucky when it comes down to these types of things, you know, natural disasters. We don't get a lot of storms or any kind of natural disasters on the island. Even when they're close to us, they always come. They can even be coming here, and at the end of the day, they just turn away, and we're safe then at the end. But that's most of the time. That wasn't one of these times. So COVID came along and hit everything. So here we are in March when the government issued a shutdown, and you couldn't go to work anymore, at least not remotely. And in the beginning, I thought, okay, this is probably going to last for a few weeks, and everything is going to go back to normal sooner than later. It's almost been 2 months, and now we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, where we can start opening back up again tomorrow and looking forward to our new normal, because it's not going to go back to the same way that it used to be. Like I said, in the beginning, my mission in life was to help people. How I used to do this before was with my work, seeing how Scanny can help the companies we work with on achieving their goals and helping them achieve what they want to achieve with their business. And now, boom, everything shut down. I'm not going to lie. The first 2 weeks, I kind of used them as a summer vacations and a chance to chill for a bit. And just taking it easy and just doing what I felt was needed for myself at that time as well. But then I realized this was the new normal, and I needed to change. I needed to adapt to this new situation and figure out how I'm going to help people. So I started with my own team first. In Scanny, we have a core of five team members. So that's 4 people, including myself. There were times where some of us were very unsure about the future, because as you can imagine, everyone is unsure in these times of how their business is going to look after this crisis has passed, or even if they will have a business at the end. And everyone was concerned with their livelihood, of course. So for me, that was a wake-up call that I really needed. I knew it was time for me to step up as a leader and as a team member and be there for the team and assure them that everything is going to be okay after all this has passed. I needed a reminder that I was responsible for them and for them to be paid at the end of the month. I was responsible for their livelihood. I honestly needed this kick in the butt to pushing myself again, to going back and finding a new normal. Truth be told, I did tell them that it was going to be okay. I didn't know how. I wasn't sure really, but somehow I did know, and I strongly believe that this is still the case, that we're going to make it through. We're not out of the woods yet. Things haven't gone back to normal yet, or even the new normal. But I still believe somehow, some way, we'll get out of this and hopefully be even better than what we were. So I knew now I had made a promise to my team, and I had to find a way on how we were going to get out of this. I had to figure out how. Honestly, I got the answer almost immediately, and it was going back to what I was looking or what I was doing before. It was about adding value to the clients that we work with. So the companies that are part of ScannyCash. In Dutch, we say klant is koning. In English, we say the customer is always right. We had to go back and we had to see how we could add value for the companies that we work at, and we had to figure out how we can help them again achieve their goals. We had some ideas on how we could do this and what we can do after things start going back to normal and after the lockdown has de-escalated. Only time will tell how things will work out. But I do know my team and I will be doing our best to make it happen on how we will be helping these companies. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about these things right now because everyone has their own case and their own business and their own livelihood that they need to worry about, and they need to know how they're going to do this. And I think it's very important for you to have a discussion about this with your team and seeing how you will survive this crisis and seeing how you will be even better, coming out stronger than you started in. So this was my story about a kid that was bullied for 20 different things and was really out of odd childhood. But this was about how I took that energy and used it for something good, how I used it to find my tribe and to be a part of something bigger. This is how I used it, how you use that energy to figure out what I wanted in life. And I'm still figuring it out. I'm 24. I can't say I have the answers to the universe. I don't think that day will ever come. The message I want to leave you with, I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter what your story is. I think your story is very important and it definitely shapes you into the person that you are today. But I think more important even is about how you choose to view your story and how you choose to take the next step on what you do with this afterwards. I could have used that same energy that I had and gotten into some very negative habits, and I could have been a part the same way that you saw the poster of Mean Girls. I could have become the bully and become part of the bigger group and start doing things that honestly that would not have made me happy, but just something that I would have done to fit in. But I chose not to do this. I think it's very important for everyone to look at where they're in life and choose what is important for them in life and choose what they want to do with their life. That was my story. I want to hear yours. If you're interested in talking, these are my contact info. You can reach me at any time. I want to leave you all with a quote. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was awesome. I have so many questions for you, but let me start by expressing my deep gratitude for you as well to share your honest story. I haven't had the same story myself, but I also moved to Curaçao at a later stage when I was 10. And I can kind of relate to having to fit in with whatever works because you feel so alone and quite misunderstood. And you're like, hey, where can I find guidance? Where can I find help? And
Yeah.
I think taking it to where we are right now, I think a lot of people are also in this state now in a new world. Where are we? What are we doing? What should I do? And I think a platform like Innovation C and the community that we're building up, I think it's a good way for people to find that place where they can go to and belong to something, and something positive. Like you said, you can belong to something bad,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
reaches out to you. So I think it's also the challenge for all of us to reach out to people from as we are the positive side, so to say.
Yeah. To be true to yourself, to be true to what is your calling, to what is your purpose, to
Yeah,
do what's right.
definitely. And I think even on a larger scale, we're now at a stage where we as an island, or maybe even we as a koninkrijk, have to decide where we want to go next. I remember Oz made a comment at the beginning, like you should reevaluate which are the things that you can do right now, and evaluate if you even have to restart them. I think one of the things that I think of right away is for example, the refinery. We've been fighting over it for quite some time, and maybe now
Yeah,
is another
it's a
moment
tough
again.
situation.
The world is different. Oil prices crashed. I mean, you cannot make the same economic models again. And I think it's also a moment for us, the next generation, and the digital entrepreneurs to step up and say, hey, we have a tangible alternative. That's not a lot of promises, but we can start
Yeah.
small and take ownership right now. So yeah, Matt, you really inspired me for sure, and I think you inspired the audience as well. I'm going to thank you again. I'm really looking forward to later in this presentation when we can go to the round table and really have a chat with you and the others. For now, I'm just going to thank you and kindly get you off the stage.
Thank you, Luke. I
Thank
hope
you very
everyone's
much, man.
enjoying the presentation.
All right. Wow, another good one. We're really on a roll today. So up next is Desi Dijkhuizen. I'm going to invite her on stage now. While we're waiting for Daisy to join, I would like to do a quick check-in with the attendees and just let us know where you're from, where you're watching from. Up until this point, we have had people from 9 countries, and I think we would like to go to 25 before the year's end. So if you're from an extraordinary country, let us know. I already saw South Africa. That's new for us. That's awesome. Buongiorno, Daisy. How are you?
Hey Luke, como tá? How are you?
How is the fight with UTS?
Well, I manage. I'm in the kitchen right now, so I think the connection is better here.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's another challenge. I saw a post today when someone asked, should internet be, as it is kind of a human right, should it be free in Curaçao, or at least provided to everybody?
Yeah,
and
think
I
with
think
the
even
lockdown process would have been nice to have it for free. But yeah, now we are going back to normal, so
yeah, let's see. I think it's very essential nowadays to have good internet. I mean, 2 weeks ago, it was, to be honest, it was quite overwhelming for us. We moved to a different platform, which looked amazing. We had all the different cool features, but then we just realized that we cannot do it with the internet from Curaçao. Speakers were dropping off, noise didn't come through, and it's just a harsh reality. And if we want to move forward as a nation, I think these infrastructures are also things we need to tackle.
yes, of course, yeah.
But I'm not going to divert from your presentation. I'm really excited to hear your story. So without further ado, the stage is yours. Enjoy.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Hello, my name is Desi Dijkhuizen. I'm the owner of Dcommunicates. For 6 years, I worked in the local journalism industry, interviewing different local and international talents and professionals and inspiring figures. This was definitely a meaningful ride for me. I learned to become a media person, and I created life-lasting memories. After 2 years of hesitating, investigating different career opportunities, and working on future possibilities, I jumped. I jumped into the unknown with tons of fear, but also with a huge dose of optimism, enthusiasm, and determination. I'm gonna share now my my slideshow. Sorry, it took a bit long, the connection. But yes, so it has been a year now since my life took a different turn. And after a year of hustling and pushing my business, I'm experiencing, like everybody else, the COVID-19 crisis. Before I focus on that matter, I would like to tell you a little bit more about myself. Yes, who am I? I'm born and raised in Curaçao. Since a very young age, I showed my skills as a communication fanatic. My pen became one of my favorite tools, next to my camera and the microphone. After finishing high school, I opted to move to the Netherlands to continue my studies, and I decided to follow my heart to pursue a career in communication. The first year was difficult since I was dealing with homesickness and culture shock. It wasn't easy to keep up at school, and due to negative results, I had to switch to a different career option. I felt like I failed. It took me several anxiety attacks and also several coaching sessions before starting a new chapter at the University of Leiden. I took a completely different road after that, and I obtained my bachelor's and my master's degree in Latin American studies. El español, pues. It has been tough years. It has been definitely tough years since anxiety never left my schedule. But I persisted. I persisted, and the moment I received my diploma, I felt I survived. This was just more than a graduation. The moment showed me that what is achieved with persistence definitely represented my strength and my determination. Luckily, immediately after obtaining my master's degree, I received the opportunity to work at the Embassy of Chile in The Hague, the Netherlands. And I worked there as a translator and assistant of the diplomatic staff. For almost 3 years, I learned about diplomatic missions, the rich Chilean culture, and I created a very special relationship with my Chilean colleagues. I don't know Chile yet. I've never been to Chile. I know Chile from work, from documents, from pictures, but it's definitely on my bucket list. So hopefully I will visit soon. And during this time, I kept dreaming on pursuing a communications career. And this is what I really wanted. But at one moment, I thought, maybe it's too late. I'm not going to study anymore. I was almost hitting the 30s, you're getting a bit like that old feeling. I don't want to go back to school. What should I do? And so I opted to take it from a different angle. And I enrolled into different organizations of Curaçao young professionals in the Netherlands. I started writing for them, translating. I did a lot of interviews with talented youth Curaçao in the Netherlands. So that gave me I was living my passion. Little did I know that my favorite hobby would open interesting doors back in my home country. So in 2012, when I decided to go back to Curaçao, I received the opportunity to work for a local newspaper. As you can see, that's the Amigo newspaper. And for several years, I managed the Amigo Express newspaper. That was a very positive newspaper in English, focusing on positive stories, motivational stories, giving people the spotlight to talk about their work, about their passion, about their talent. And as you can see on the picture, there was an advertisement that we used to promote a long time ago. And at the Amigo gave me the opportunity to work on my journalism skills. And it became a very important part of my career as a communication specialist. Interviews, translations, editing, copywriting, and public relations, they have been important ingredients of my regular working day. I really felt that I was positioned at the right place. I was living my dream. This is it. I've been dreaming for a long time to work into the communication department. But after 4 years working in the industry, I felt like there were no more possibilities for growth. I wanted to create my own ideas, and I wanted to have the freedom to do so as well. That's very important. So I needed to make a choice: stay into the comfort zone or jump and make it happen. So again, I was attacked by fear. And those sleepless months definitely made a trick on my well-being. But at the end of the day, I took a leap of faith and jumped with shaky hands. I quit, but after that moment, everything started to fall into place. I started my own business, Dcommunicates. Before I focus on my business, I would like to emphasize on the ingredients to jump and make it happen. These ingredients helped me a lot through the process. The first is the most important one: find your passion. When it's your passion, it's not work. Stay focused. It's okay to cry. I'll still do. I mean, it's normal. It's normal to cry. It's normal to be anxious. It's normal to hesitate about your next step. It's part of the process. Don't be harsh on yourself. Plan your business. You don't have to do this alone. You can hire a business coach to help you through this process. Be creative and unique. It's your business. Make it yours. You don't have to give any explanation to other people, like you have to do it this way. No, this is your thing. Make it yours from your heart. Find your target group, network, and sell your idea. Believe in yourself. Take on your challenges. Dig deep within yourself to conquer fears. Never let anyone bring you down. Don't let fear and insecurity stop you from trying new things. I'm still into this process. By the way, it's not, I mean, you keep on learning and you keep on developing yourself, you keep on developing your business. So it's very important to go back to basics, right? To teach yourself about how to manage the whole thing. So coming back to my business called Dcommunicates, as you can see, Dcommunicates focuses on copywriting, on creative writing, on translation services, and vlogging. I work in 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Dutch, and Papiamento. So basically, Dcommunicates is your solution for all your publication needs. Going back to the moment I jumped, and it was a very hectic period for me emotionally as well. You get attacked by anxiety again. Sleepless nights. You worry about opinions of other people because you hear like, "Ako costa malo," and now you're gonna do this. I mean, the time is not right. We live in a crisis. This and that. You have your salary. So besides everything, I followed my heart and I followed my passion. I did it, and the moment I signed my contract at the Chamber of Commerce, everything started to fall into place. I bumped into several people that helped me, motivated me, and even believed in me by giving my first assignments. Slowly but surely, my baby, Dcommunicates, started to crawl. And at the beginning of this year, it was a huge achievement for me when I signed the contract for my office. So excited. And then March 2020, the Corona crisis. How do I deal with this situation? Honestly, during the first weeks of quarantine, it felt horrible. No assignments, uncertain deals, and now I have a rent to pay. Well, I need to still pay these months. But besides everything, this period is also a reality check for me, to stand still, to apply techniques I learned in the past during my coaching sessions to avoid anxiety, or not to avoid anxiety as well, but to deal with anxiety. And yes, it is still a challenge, but I'm here, I'm hanging there. And well, my tools, even though I'm working from home now, and I have to be completely honest, my days are completely out of balance. I work during the night and I sleep during the day. So I have to be honest, nobody is perfect here. But I try to have my own routine. I rest when my body says so, and I invest my time. Even though sometimes I don't have assignments, I enrolled into different educational programs online. I started to pick up my French. I'm doing social media management. So little by little, I'm developing also my business. Luckily enough, I have been productive the last couple of weeks with assignments, and I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for every single assignment. Whatever the hardships, COVID-19 teaches us all to be even more grateful. There are always things to be grateful for, always. But for now, gratitude reminds us again how special, beautiful, and fortunate we are, even under stressful circumstances. Um, as I said before, this is a challenging period. These are uncertain times, but we cannot sit still and wait. Now is the time to educate ourselves. Now is the time to reinvent our business, to work on ourselves, and step out of the comfort zone. Taking small steps each day, but standing still, for me, definitely that's no option. And yes, this live session has also been a step completely out of my comfort zone. So I thank you, Luke, and also Andy for the opportunity. And everybody who is now listening to my presentation, thank you. And before I wrap up, I want to invite you all to follow me on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can also send me an email at info@dcommunicates.com or visit my website, dcommunicates.com. Thank you.
Desi, I have one question for you.
Bisami.
Why are you so nervous? You're doing wonderful. You did amazing. I think I can't
Thank you.
believe that you feel nervous if you're so good at presenting. I mean, it was really good. It was really clear.
I think I have it in my genes. I've been nervous my whole life for everything I did. So. Daisy without nervous, it doesn't exist. It's a part of me.
And how do you get over it? What drives you to still say yes to kind of presentations like this?
I love this adrenaline feeling, to be honest.
So you like being nervous?
After this presentation, I'm gonna get a drink. I think.
You should. Are there any exercises you do, or is it really the coaching that helps you get through this?
I do meditation sessions sometimes. It's not like part of my day, but I try to do it every night before I go to sleep. I pray that gives me strength to go through the day. And yeah, I think Monday I'm gonna start back to the gym. So I'm happy that now I can go back to the gym.
Wonderful. And you mentioned you rented your first office.
Yes.
Are you planning to keep your office after COVID?
No, I'm going back to my office.
You're going back to your office. You already made the decision.
Yes, because you know what it is? I love working at home. I mean, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But when you dress up, I don't know, I don't know if it's a girly thing, but you dress up, you make up, you do your hair, you go to the office, you have your heels on, you feel like you can conquer the world, it has something, it gives you that sparkle instead of wearing your PJs all day and then in front of your laptop. You know what I mean? So I love that from I'm going to work attitude. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my office.
So one thing that helped me to get out of my PJs, at least for the top part, the bottom is still jogging brook all day, even now. But I think one thing that really helps me is to schedule at least one call every day that I have to work. So I at least need to get dressed, take a shower, look presentable for the other person, but also for myself. I mean, it's a good habit to stay, to look in the mirror and say, hey, let's look nice today. Let's look verzorgd. Yeah. Of course, you don't need to overdo it. There's not a lot of depth in this. For the people that realize, I got a new webcam. My webcam used to be very, very bad. I used to open the presentation with the worst webcam of everybody. But now I do need to look a little bit better because you can see all the flaws and all the wrinkles. Oh, by the way,
filters.
We need filters in Livestorm. All right. I'm actually really looking forward to the roundtable in a bit. I think there's a lot of questions that people might have for you.
I'm curious.
Maybe is there anything you want to ask the audience? Maybe.
I'm curious if there are business owners in the chat group, and how do they feel emotionally with the COVID-19 crisis? Because we all talk about business-wise, but the emotion part is also very important. And I'm very curious how people do with that.
So am I. While people are typing, I can share my experience. I started my freelance journey about 6-7 months ago. luckily for me, my work is very digital and remote. So I haven't been as like this is my busiest period ever. Like jobs are basically flying in because everybody needs help with digital stuff. And then on top of that, we started working on Innovation C, and I'm really looking forward to presenting that in a bit as well. And I think the key there is what really motivated me and keep me up was trying something new, saying, hey, now I have a couple hours extra that I would normally spend in the traffic or whatever. Let's do something that I always wanted to do, which was Innovation C. It started in 2018, but we never had really the time for it. We're like, hey, let's do something out of the ordinary because the times are already so weird. Let's see. Not a
Now
lot
it-
of comments. It's business
now
as usual. All right. Cool. We can keep all the replies for a little bit later. I'm going to invite Andy on stage, but first I'm going to thank you one more time, Desi. I'm really, really
It's
happy that
you.
you're involved. I'm also looking forward to seeing your first articles in relation to Innovation C. Oh,
Yeah.
there's Mr. Andy. He's already on. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Desi. See you in a
Thank
bit.
you. Okay.
Well, Andy, there you are. It's been a
Well,
crazy 3 months, or no?
it's insane. I'm sitting here and I'm feeling emotional. Can everyone hear me right? I got new headsets in that I bought especially to look even better for you.
Yeah,
Um,
your lighting is horrible, but the sound is great.
that's just my aura. I can't help it.
You look like an angel. That's good. So I think it's really I'm super excited to see what you're coming up with. Um, for people that are new here that haven't heard of Innovation C before the last 2 months, this all started back in 2018 around December. An Innovation C community came together to organize a offline conference at Lantas Chobolobo. We were super excited to just bring the innovators together. We initially hoped to get 40 people, then 40 became 60, 60 became 80, and in the end, we ended up with 110 attendees. Even the Prime Minister, Mr. Ruggenaat, came. And along the way of finding a good lineup of speakers, people that were able to share their true, unique self and still share good insights from an expert level, I got in touch with Andy and I was like, yo, I saw some of your presentations and I would love for you to be on stage. And I remember the first time me and Andy crossed paths. It was like a kind of a weird moment. I think we both expected something else. We only had very brief touch. Like we only spoke for a very small moment, and it was like, "Hey, this is a really cool, chill dude." I expected it to be much more formal, and right from the start, it felt like an interesting connection. And then once COVID started, and we decided that, hey, now is the moment to step up again and bring the innovative community together. And the first person I reached out to basically was you, Andy, because I remember that you, even after the conference, you stayed in touch. You kept also telling that the Innovation C conference brought good things to you and that you want more of this. So I'm beyond excited to have you part of this movement. And over the past weeks, you have been leading so much. For the people that are asking, like, Luke, can you do this? It's as much Luke as Andy, and it's as much us as the rest of all of us. I think Andy is a real example of how you can take ownership of something if you have a good trust relation between people. I trust him. He trusts me. He can go off working for 2 days and then he drops stuff on me. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. What you shared with me is perfectly in line with what I'm doing, and also the other way around. So I haven't. I looked briefly at your presentation, but I didn't go in the nitty gritty because I want to see what you're going to bring. Afterwards, I'm going to add a little bit from my side. I already saw people commenting that they want to keep this movement alive. That has also been on our minds. We had the sleepless nights, like Daisy mentioned.
yeah.
We want this to continue as well. We see that there's a need for it. People want this as well, and I think we can make it happen. We have a group of over 14 supporters already. People like Daisy that offered their services to help Innovation C grow and help promote innovation from and with Curaçaos around the globe. Um, so yeah, it's just an honor to have you, Andy. I'm going to leave the stage and give all the present here to you.
Well, thank you, Luke. Welcome, everyone. That was quite an introduction. It made me shy and also a little bit emotional. I'm gonna upload my presentation. Um, from Curaçao to the world and from the world to Curaçao. That's what this platform stands for. What Luke and I hope, or not even hope, we're just gonna do it because hope is nice, but if you don't do anything with hope, it's just gonna be hope. We're gonna bring Curaçao to the world and we're gonna bring the world to Curaçao. We're already doing that. A good example is the people that are here from Holland, from South Africa, from the States, and I was just on the phone with someone from Australia. It's insane. As we just discussed a little bit already, after the COVID-19 situation broke out, I had a few moments of despair. I worked the last couple of years my ass off to get my project Second Life Curaçao running. And within a couple of days, I felt it coming, but within a couple of days, I just knew tourism is dead. My project is dead. And I haven't had an income of that since. So it's been very hard. And I had a few moments of grief. I had a few moments of wondering why the F did I work so hard to get here. But I knew there was something. Everything I've done was to become a better person so I could help more people and so those people could become better people. And then I get Luke on the phone again after 2 years. For the people that don't know, between me and Luke, there is a whole life. There's 20 years between me and Luke. That's almost his whole life. And as he said, we are an awesome team where he is more socially and economically and business engaged. I'm more socially engaged, but he understands the value of social and I understand the value of business. And we have such a great communication. We have we exchange our information with each other in such a way that we can build this platform. And that's what this presentation is going to be about. I call it humanity and technology, the future of society. It's a little bit bigger than it is, but then again, we are all society, and it's not the masculinity or the femininity. It's not black and white. It's all of us, and we live and die together. Even though at the end you are alone, but everything that you cross in between is very important. I'm going to take you to the first couple of editions. There's a small mistake there. I went to check yesterday. I thought there were 60 participants, but apparently there were 90. The first edition was remote and thriving, and Luke invited me to be a part of that. And I already noticed the first one in 2018, how busy this dude is. He's doing so much. And I was like, Luke, if you need help, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. And so I started help sharing stuff and preparing with little things. I made a presentation about the 8 basic guidelines of self-mastery, how to control yourself and deal with the situation. Because what I noticed with myself, that because of my accident, I was dealing pretty decently with all the setbacks that I was having right now. That also became a podcast, but I'll explain that later. I have my own podcast because of Innovation C, so that's very cool. The second edition was creative mindset and entrepreneurship, and Erika Victorina Obersi sitting in the crowd. She talked about Tienda di Lei. We had Levi Silvani, my little brother, being part of that. And we had 100 participants. At that time, we did in live stream here, and we could only allow 100 people get in, but there were more people that wanted to join. The third edition was the social connection. We had over 120 participants, even though we had tons of technical issues. And this is again where you see the great teamwork that there is between me and Luke. When Luke's connection fell off, I jumped in, and when my connection was being crappy, Luke just took the lead and made the decision to quit early and make it all look good. It's all available. I see there's a connection issue. Okay, I'm back again. It's all available on our YouTube channel. You can find us under Innovation. what is Innovation C? For now, it's digital conferences, bi-weekly digital conferences with talented Curaçao or people that have their roots here on Curaçao. That can be business roots, that can be social roots, that can be any route, that can be just a normal carrot if you want. I believe we have to be as inclusive as possible because we might be a small island, but we can have a huge impact if we have good teamwork. And celebrate our diversity. As an ex-nature guide, a touristic guide, I've seen how tourists have experienced the island and what was valuable to them. And that's also what I'm trying to bring back with Innovation C and helping with educating the speakers, helping with educating the participants. The topics, well, from cryptocurrency to personal development, we hope to bring people and ideas together. Let me state it this way. Before Innovation C, I had heard of cryptocurrency. Now I have a cryptocurrency wallet and I have money in there, and it has actually, it got more without me doing anything. And I had a great talk with Mr. Oz, that's also in the crowd, that also explained me a little bit more what's going on with cryptocurrency in the background of Curaçao. My new newsletter, the Buccaneers Herald, will also talk a little bit about that. There's a lot more going on than we know. And the part of personal development, I think Haydee also explained that we can give people as much money as we want, but if we don't give them the information what to do with that money, they're gonna lack in their development. I know that for myself, I went bankrupt twice because no one taught me anything. And it was after my accident that I realized the way I was dealing with money was wrong because the way I was dealing with myself was wrong. Wrong sounds hard, but by developing myself, now I'm able to help other people, coach other people, and get them to deal better with their problems and also see the value of themselves and their money better. So again, this is all part of the platform. Communications, social platforms are the new media. Communication and education have never been so easy and effective. There's Desi. Desi is a perfect example of that. Desi worked for a newspaper. I know Desi from the New Express. She interviewed me for that, and the newspapers are still important, going to be important for a long, long time. But we are the new media. What we post on social media has huge effect. What you post, any weird, little, stupid, funny, ridiculous post that you post can make someone's day or break someone's day, can create a panic, can create a weird situation. So communications is very important. So if we're going to communicate, let us communicate in a as positive manner. And again, that's what we hope to do with Innovation C. And last but not least, bringing all these topics together, digital conferences, topics, and communications, it's community. It's powered by Curaçao. I'm very new to Curaçao. That's all Luke's work. Again, he blew my horn so much that I'm still a little bit shy of that. But what this dude does, I wish I had his inspiration, his motivation when I was his age. But he's building huge community in the background of this, and you are all part of that. Later in this presentation, I will share that website with you also, where you can go be part of that community. But it starts, of course, with our Facebook page, with our Twitter account, all our socials. Find us on LinkedIn, and be part of this technology. Well, the C team, how did I end up here? Well, Luke just took away this part of my presentation. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna take a sip on that. No, as you can see a little picture there of that was social entrepreneurship with Levi Sovani, Lisandro, Stacy, and now I forgot her name. How much Bert wins is that? But yeah, how did I end up here? Erika, thank you, Erika. I talked to you last night and I already forgot your name. Luke asked me to be part of his conference 2 years ago, and I was just becoming more and more at ease at becoming a motivational speaker, but not just a motivational speaker. I was talking at so many schools, and after talking at these schools, I would sit in the rooms with the managing directors of the schools. I would talk to certain teachers. I would talk with the social workers, and I noticed how much of the formation, the formation, that we were missing. And I didn't know how to bring that more. And I do know we have to think more sustainable. And with sustainability, people many times only think about environment. But the first environment that we need to develop is ourselves and the environment around us. What we eat, what we think, and what we speak. Um, Luke asking me to be part of Innovation C the first time was just amazing, and standing there on stage and seeing so many people that have so much impact here in Curaçao really blew me away. And I was thinking, how did this guy get this right here? And I was so grateful for that opportunity. Most importantly for me was that my old boss, that just before my accident, was standing right in the center, in the middle, in the background, and him being there and me showing my gratitude to him for the opportunities that he gave me was very important. So when Luke came back to me like, hey Andy, I'm organizing a new one and it's going to be digital, I just knew we had one common goal, and that was bringing people together, sharing the knowledge that we have, and that's the social economical future of the island, and show that it's not just the economical part, it's not just the social part, but we have to bring those two together to elevate ourselves. The whole after that, I sort of took over the part of organizing the events, seeing how busy Luke was, and Luke did so much in the background, and with us two having that little foundation together, it was time to reach out. And as you can see in some of the names in the chat, Michel Mozage, Desi Dijkhuizen, Erika Obersi, us, so many more I reached out to and I talked to them. Suzette all the way in South Africa, everyone wanted to be a part of it. And slowly but surely we're building the strategy, the foundation of Innovation C, and also a support group and side projects like entrepreneurs, and as you can see on my shirt, to recycle pirate, what I will explain a little bit in a bit of. It all comes back to one common goal, and that's bringing people together and helping us elevate each other. And instead of doing that, as we so often do here in Curaçao with parties, which are very awesome, which we're very good in, but we do have to do it more with formation and education. And with education, I don't mean one-on-one, but I mean what we just did, what Haydee just did, what Somesh just did, and what Desi just did is so important, because now you see how much goes on behind building that business. There's so much emotion going on behind there. There's so much hard work going on behind there, and there's so much insecurities that have to that people have to go through, and we forget that often. We don't talk about that, and that is necessary. That part of emotional intelligence, thank you us for that one, is just so important to share with each other, so we know what we need to do together to help each other. Stacey talked about that as well in her talk. You can watch that one also on our YouTube page. Together we're creating the difference. As I already said, I do a huge part of the planning. I talk to the people. I think with almost every speaker, I sat for an hour talking about their talk, about what we're doing, and what Luke is doing behind the scenes. Luke is doing a lot of implementation. I'm learning so much from him. It's like I'm getting a whole degree just by working with him about what he does. There is so much being done and ready to reach out. He will talk after my presentation about how you can partake in Innovation C, whether it's just a financial donation, how it's with your knowledge in the talent pool, or just lifting us up when we are down, like, yeah, what are we gonna do now? Sometimes it's confusing because it's so digital. We miss the human connection, that you don't know, okay, for who am I doing this, and are people really appreciating this? Because the only way for you to know that is counting the likes, and is counting the shares, and that's not fun. But again, we are creating the difference. We see it by the participations. We see the community that's being built, and I see and feel the feedback that I'm getting. And there are at least 4 people that got me to cry at least 5 times in the past 3 weeks working on these digital conferences. Well, what do we stand for? First of all, this whole Innovation C is powered by Curaçao. Luuk can explain a lot more about that, but Curaçao is a foundation started amongst others by Luuk, by Rini Calmera and Ruben Russell, and I don't know all the names. I just joined. I barely know anything about it except for they do amazing work. There are a lot of young guns and some old farts that really understand the importance of social impact and innovation. So I divided them in 3 little rows. The opportunity that we need to create together. As COVID-19 broke out, I really paid attention. I really observed on what was being shared on social media, and it showed how much lack mentality there is. There were so many people creating panic and fear, and that was really hurting me. And I was like, okay, how can I reach out and how can I help other people to change their mindset? And that's when Luuk contacted me. As most people that I connected said, yeah, I can't, I'm too busy, business is going bad and I'm losing this and that. So the community the community feeling that came immediately with Luuk and me connecting with each other and seeing the other people participated, and that brought the development of Innovation C. Seeing me Ngozi trying to reach out to people, they tried to create an impact, but they were in the beginning they were lacking the database to get there. I mean, I had to send in my information, get the email back. We started with a new one. Yeah, I need to round up already. I'm talking too much. Fine.
I'm going to join you on stage already.
Okay,
so we can speed it up. So far, I'm loving it. I think one thing I really want to highlight from my side is that it's not per se about you or I. I think we did a lot of the groundwork now. We're creating this foundation, but it's a foundation for all of us. And I think the leaders are the people in the chat right now. The leaders are the people that already took their time to be here today, or couldn't make it and are watching this later on. You can all be a leader in this project. You can all be a leader here. I think other than that, you're wording it really nicely. I just want to highlight one more time that it's not about you or I. We are doing the hard work, but then everybody is welcome to participate, and it's already happening.
Yeah. Well, that's why I mentioned all these names and all these people that I talked to from all the places around. It's been amazing. The ideas that I got from there, the talks that we will have. One of them is All Eyes on Curaçao, our next talk. I'll gonna talk about that in a bit. There's a lot of improvements still to come. So your suggestions that you're gonna give us in this chat, that you're gonna give me on WhatsApp later or on LinkedIn when you reach out to us, they're very valuable and they're all being used or at least discussed. Where do we go next? Well, we have at least 3 or 4 more lined up. There are also suggestions from some stores in Punda that wanted to join in. There have been people from the fintech industry that wanted to join in. There is a lot, but the first one is going to be All Eyes on Curaçao, May 23rd. So put it in your calendar, so you can't miss it again. So you can keep a time free in your schedule. And All Eyes on Curaçao is going to be very fun because we're going to have 3 Curaçao living in Holland. One as an actor, he's also part here, Kirchner. The other one is a journalist for NTR Caribbean Network. And the other one doesn't want to be called a teacher. She's an educator and she does amazing work, Miss Mathos. Well, as I mentioned already, you can watch our replays. Please share them with other people, not just for us as Innovation C. I think what Luuk already mentioned, what's very important, we give the platform, but because of the platform, you can share all these other people that don't have a platform yet. For me, it's very easy to build a lot of followers, but some people have a few followers, and with this, we can help them increase their platform. So go check out one of the videos, the posts on one of the socials, and share it on your social media. And Luuk, now you're here. Can you explain a little bit about what Curaçao.io is? Because I think many people don't know that yet, and it's very important to explain it as well, because it's also part of our socials.
Thank you very much. And yes, definitely. So Curaçao is an initiative we started, well, it initially started more than almost 2 years ago now. It started when me, Ruben, Fernando, and another group of people that were part of the Caribbean Blockchain Network discovered this thing that was called a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. It sounds really hard, but it's quite simple. It's a digital organization that uses blockchain, so the technology behind cryptocurrencies, to make a transparent and honest organization. In theory, what it comes down to right now is that we have a pool of shared resources that is managed by the community. So all the community members, for example, Andy, Rooney, me, all have a say about this pool of resources. And the community members can come in and propose ideas and projects for the benefit of Curaçao. And then the community decides to vote on these projects. And if they're upvoted, they will receive either financial support, resources, promotional aid, whatever they need to have an impact on the island. And the beauty about this is that it's a very transparent and honest system where everybody knows what's happening and there's no way to cheat it. So in theory, only the best projects and the most impactful projects will be funded. So it's a very efficient way for funding the commons, so to speak. So the commons are things that benefit all of us, not just a select group of people, but everybody on the island. It's like water, for example, internet for everybody. I think that's definitely a project that Curaçao would be interested in, as it's something that benefits the whole island and not just a small group. So maybe if you would allow me, I want to quickly dive into the hard part of this presentation and share my screen. Yeah.
I have one more slide, because I've been promoting Innovation C the whole time. I just have this one because it's such a good looking picture, just so that people can find me as for daily motivational content as the Recycle Pirate on Instagram, Facebook, and of course under Andy Kirchner on Twitter. If you want to be part of the organization and you want to send in your application, email me at andy@innovationcure.com.
Wonderful. All right, I'm going to take it for 2 minutes, then I'll invite you back on stage for the roundtable. It was really good to see your perspective, and I think you did the nice work, and I'm going to get to the hard reality with the people and explain where we need to go next, or where we should go next. Thank you, Andy. See you in a bit. Thanks, man. All right. To be very honest, it's so hard for me. I have a really hard time receiving compliments. I'm somebody that believes that everybody has a lot of potential, and that only if we work together, we can achieve great things. And on that note, I would like to highlight once again that because you're part here, you're already in the chat, you're already part of the change. And I already saw something happening in the chat, which I didn't expect would happen already. People were saying, hey, I want to keep this alive. How can I support, even financially? And it's a hard reality. Over the past 2 months, Andy and I have been doing this completely pro bono. Here and there, we do get indirect opportunities because of Innovation C, but we haven't charged anything yet. We do, however, plan to apply for a grant at Curaçao to at least reward us with a couple $100 or whatever for the initial work. But this is not quite sustainable. We want to be doing this much more and be able to dedicate much more time to Innovation C, and also create much more opportunities for people like Desi or Stacey or whoever who's part of the community and wants to grow together with the rest of Curaçao. So we've been doing a lot of strategic thinking and planning, and I'm going to walk you through in about 2 minutes. And in the end, I want you to take 2 actions. So just prepare yourself. I'm going to ask you 2 favors. But first, let's dive into it. So Innovation C, it started as an innovation conference. It then evolved into digital conferences, and it's now evolving into a community. And what could it become next? I believe it is a diverse collective of entrepreneurial creators who facilitate innovation and social technological advancement in Curaçao. AKA, we're a global community of people with connections to Curaçao that like to take action to improve the situation on the island. A small preview of how it looked. This was the conference in 2018 for the people who weren't there. You see Maarten Schakel was the MC. We see about Dino from Profound. And this was the, let's say, the groundwork of where we are today. It then turned into the digital conferences, and he spoke about it really well. And we're already also planning on different things. So besides doing the bi-weekly digital conferences, we're planning a digital magazine, which will be different from the traditional digital magazines, as it will include podcasts and videos as well. And we're also directly planning on workshops and also creating a collective of freelancers. So really creating different groups of people with talents and picking up larger tasks and larger problems and larger opportunities together as a group from Innovation C. So it's getting it's already growing and becoming a much more vivid thing. And I want to invite all of you who are watching now to get involved. If you're a writer, if you're a content creator, if you are a thinker, whatever, all skills are welcome here. Let us know, reach out to us, either to Andy at Innovation Cure. I'll also share the community link in a bit. Wait, I can share it right away, actually. So over here, you can connect with the community. But now let's dive into, wait, I can skip all this. I think the important part is what I'm going to get to now is we want this to continue and we need to find a way to make it more sustainable. So we've set up a couple of partnership packages. This is for corporates or larger organizations that want to contribute to the empowerment and the growth of the people of Curaçao, and that also want to benefit in this case by being connected with this community of creators and action takers from Curaçao. So if you're part of an organization or know an organization that might be interested in contributing to Innovation C, please reach out to us. We'll also think of a way how individuals can contribute. I feel bad for asking individuals for financial support, but if you feel like you have something to spare and you want to contribute to the innovation in Curaçao, you're very welcome. Lastly, we're also looking for government grants. If you're part of the government or have connections in the government and know how we can get funding to keep Innovation C alive, please reach out to us. Again, this is still a blank canvas. We have the foundation, and collectively we have to decide where we move forward. And now I'm going to ask you to do two things. The first one is, if you're watching now, please take a screenshot of the presentation. I'm going to put it into something more inspirational. Take a screenshot of the presentation and put it anywhere on Facebook. Either tag us in it on Facebook or on Twitter or LinkedIn, whatever social channel you prefer. Please try to use the hashtag InnovationCure, and let's let the world hear what's happening here. Let's invite others as well to be part of this. So once we're doing the next conference, try to bring a friend. Help us grow. Together we can have a much more vivid community. And then the second part, this is for the business owners and entrepreneurs and people that already have a network that might be interested. If you can think of 3 people that would be interested in Innovation C, please write their names and their contact details now and send it later to us, maybe today or later tomorrow. Mail it to hi@innovationcure, and we will take it from there, and we will make sure that we have a good foundation so we can continue to create innovation and help people move forward in a positive way. So that was it for this part. I'm now going to invite the other speakers on stage. We're going to do a small digital roundtable. If you have any questions for any of the speakers, now is your moment. You can write it out and we can go into these questions. Let's see, Andy's already there. Somesh, let's get Somesh there. How are you feeling, Andy?
I'm feeling very good. I'm very happy. There's my brother. I'm using these new headsets, and it's very nice because I can escape in between to go to the restroom. I'm happy that you can't hear that, but it's very nice to be able to go to the restroom and not lose anything you said. So
Too much information. Too much information.
Oh, Andy.
business as unusual.
You never know if we can hear
Where's
you or
Somesh?
not. You hope we don't hear you.
I really hope you can.
Where's Somesh? I think Somesh, he'll be back.
Somesh
All
went
right.
for happy hour without us.
Yeah, I think we can all use a drink tomorrow. I think this is also. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen if everybody's going out on the same moment, or if people are smart and realize that if we all go out, this might go wrong again, and we don't want to go into lockdown another 2 months, I guess.
I don't think that's going to happen because we already saw pictures of so many people on the same roads together, riding a bike, running, and swimming. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of ignorance going around. That's something we can't escape.
True.
Again, formation is very important. Desi, you were the most nervous one of everyone in this group.
Because
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That's part of me. But I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I feel relieved.
Somesh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm taking over the round table. Look, this was supposed to be your round table, but
You can take it. We're all at the same pace. I think there's also an invite for the speakers. If you have something to ask your colleagues, feel free. This is our happy hour already.
the thing is, I've spoken to everyone before, and I've seen everyone being nervous. So I really want to know, and especially for the people that are watching on the side over there that don't realize how nervous these three people were before they had to come on stage. So it's nice to share that for a little bit. Like, Somesh, how are you feeling now? I mean, you've been, as we say in Dutch, you went with the billen bloot. I mean, you really shared your experience, and you all three did. But how are you feeling now?
You know the saying, the calm before the storm, right? So this is the calm after the storm. I feel at peace. I feel at zen, even like I feel like I had a really good workout and just feel the endorphins and the rush, just relaxing. And I have a new saying in life. I actually discovered this while I was talking to Andy a few weeks ago. It was a saying that my new motto in life is excited and nervous. So if something makes me excited and nervous, I have to do it.
That's vitamin for the
And
soul.
this was one of those things.
Okay. Haydee, how are you feeling? I mean, we went to a checkup this morning to see how everything was going. Of course, once the general repetition goes wrong, that means the execution goes perfect.
Perfect. Yes, and it went perfect. Yes, I was actually the one that had some butterflies in advance, but those butterflies, they calmed down. They calmed down like within 30 seconds of me starting. So I was okay. Yeah.
I want to share a little experience that I have with this group over here because I didn't know Haydee at all, except for once I won a prize in 2015. She was supposed to be one of my coaches, but I never went for that coaching program. So I'll still be knocking on your door for that.
Yeah.
Desi
No, I'm
interviewed
not
me.
saying anything.
Desi interviewed me for Amigo Express after I did my TEDx talk in
Like
Aruba.
couple of times.
Couple of years ago.
And she's and she sent Elisa Cook to me to interview me, so I got lots of love for her. Luuk, as I said already, in 2018 contacted me, and then a couple of months ago. But then there is this dude there in the middle that I'm gonna center it on. And I want to show you the value of Innovation C here. I talked about the basic 8 guidelines of self-mastery, and as we were done, Somesh contacted me and asked me to coach him, and we've done a couple of sessions together, and I've seen the difference in mindset because he's such an intelligent, such a good guy, and I would like you to share that little bit, how you experienced the first one as a participant, and then now, and what happened there in between for you, because there's a lot has happened for you. Losing your motivation, losing your not losing your inspiration, but doubting it.
Yeah, just the change, everything, like COVID caused everything to change. Basically, nothing was normal. This was as business as unusual as could be. So I'm just gonna say one small comment, then I'll get back to your question. The same feeling that Luke has with taking compliments is this something that I share too, and I think it's a very normal thing for us to accept
And then he froze.
is who
You
froze.
froze for a second. Can you repeat
Was not
the
the
normal?
Demi?
The
No.
normal thing was the
What's up?
final
No,
thing you
ulit
heard.
Demi?
mo. Bye back, rewind. Bye back.
so, so I think this COVID messed up everyone's rhythm, their routine, and this caused everyone to go to business as unusual and personal as unusual as well. And one of the things that Andy mentioned, with the compliments that he gave me, just like Luke mentioned a while ago, I have a hard time with accepting the compliments as well. And the way I'm just saying this out to you, Luke, and I think a lot of us have that issue as well, is accepting compliments. And is one, obviously, first of all, saying thank you. So thank you for the
Thank you,
compliment,
Andy.
Andy.
He has no
And
issue
two,
with taking compliments.
I believe.
And he has no issue with taking compliments.
Kahit bus ka na, tapis ka pa compliments siyempre. But also being like, it's okay, it's okay to accept yourself as you are. You see a lot of flaws in yourself, but those flaws are almost invisible to the outside world. You know what your shortcomings are because you're with yourself for 24/7. But not everyone else is, and for them maybe you are making progress in leaps and bounds compared to their own pace, but you're judging yourself for something that's such an unrealistic standard that it's so difficult, it's freaking impossible to be productive all the time, to not deal with your emotions, to not be human. Basically, you're almost asking yourself to be a robot, and that's so difficult for anyone to do. You can't maintain that for the rest of your life.
True.
I would
Yeah.
like to ask Haydee how you did as I mean, you also went very nude there and be human instead of just business, and you work in this
Yeah.
business world. So I would like how did that feel for you?
Sorry, Andy, you were freezing up a little bit. I didn't hear everything you asked. Can you please repeat the question?
How did it feel for you to go so nude and be so open and free about your emotions while normally working in the business world?
Andy, I work in the business world, but I'm actually a very open person. I always go in the way I am, even though I am in business. For me, it was not difficult because I was just me. I really was me. So that's how I am. When I deal with my clients, of course, let me put it like this. I have different types of clients. When you deal with the one-on-one business coaching sessions, I show people exactly how I am. People know how I am. I am me. I'm just Haydee. I always say I am me. I'm just me. And when you go into corporations, of course, when you try to get that contract, of course, you're pretty business and serious and all of that. But once I'm in, I also show me. I don't like to show another person who I'm not. So yeah, people, and I think, Andy, when we were talking, I also told you, you said you don't look too business, so you look normal, and that's who I am because I can deal with business and still wear jeans. I don't think that I should wear one always because I do wear those pants. I do wear dresses because right now I have a dress on. But if I feel like wearing a jeans, I will do that. So that's who I am.
Maybe for me to take a step back and by the way, I shared the Innovation C platform, which is a forum where we can have a little bit of more focused discussions outside of Facebook. I found myself in the Facebook groups. For example, with Curaçao, we have a Facebook group, and I figured that a lot of people don't keep track of it because you have all the notifications, So if you're really into innovation and you want to have a nice, safe space, just as this conversation with people that are chill but still very open, you can go there. So maybe to go back to Somesh's opmerking, I think there are two things. The first one, I like how you sometimes switch to Papiamento, and I think it highlights again that we should do more sessions in Papiamento. We did one about a month ago, and it was really fun. I think we should do that again. I'm looking at you, Andy. You're the man behind the Papiamento edition. And then the second one
Jeez, more
about
work.
about the pressure, and really I think it has something to do also with working digital and working remotely. It's that people can, at least they feel like they can come into your private zone at any moment and pressure you, even if they don't feel like it. They're like, hey, can you do a meeting tomorrow at 3? And you're very inclined to say yes, and then you feel bad about it, or you say, well, and I think there's a lot of pressures coming there. And I think where I want to go to is that in the coming months, we as Curaçao will need to work quite hard. There is a lot of economic downturns from this whole crisis, and we will need to find a way to really, like the Dutch say, tanden op elkaar zetten, and really focus and work hard. And I think the challenge was going to be is how can we both do working hard and remaining focused, but also not feeling pressured and feeling emotionally hurt by doing it. I mean, we don't want people to start working hard now and then get a breakdown in December, and that would only make things harder. So maybe to all of you, we have all been hit. How do you plan to move forward? Are you going to work harder? Are you going to work smarter?
Smarter. I will
For me,
work
it's going to
smarter.
be combination of both.
Yeah, I always work hard, but what I learned, what this situation taught me was that maybe I need to take a step back. And that's what I did. I actually took a step back and I looked at my company from with an outside perspective. So I became my own business coach. That's what I did. I had to do it because I was working hard and nothing happened. Nothing happened. I was just stuck. I was stuck there. And if nothing happens and you just continue working harder, then like you said, Luke, you're going to break down. And I didn't want that to happen because actually I have experienced that in the Netherlands. I have already experienced a burnout and I know how it feels. I know that I was on the edge of getting a burnout. I felt it in my body. I became sick. I became everything. So I said, no. This is not going to happen again because no, we're not doing
How
it.
did you
So,
deal with it, Haydee?
Actually, I prayed a lot. I slept a lot. I took a whole week off. It was during Easter. I took a whole week off and I slept and I did everything that I wanted to do. So I slept, I read, I did not watch any movies, but I watched a whole lot of YouTube videos. I listened to music, or I just sat there. I played with my dog. I did some gardening. So really, I took time for me. And it was a Monday, or no, Tuesday after Easter that I felt like, okay, and now I'm ready to go on.
You just listen to your body.
I listened. Yes, and I am very in tune with my body. So I know what I feel. I also know when I start feeling stress. I feel it in my back, and it's like something is pinching me. Like, hey, listen, and I know, okay, no, calm down, take a step back.
So as this is the business as unusual topic, I'm respecting that you shared it, but I'm also wondering from my perspective, um, how these unusual times like this, if they make it worse or better, if it's more of an opportunity to take that step back now, or if this is the moment that more people will feel stressed and pressured and find it harder to remain positive in that sense. And I think everybody's having a different experience because for me, it was like a real crash. It came in at once. The second day of Corona, it was down. I was sitting at home like, it's over. And then I went so deep that it was almost only upwards from there because I already went super deep. And what I'm wondering, maybe this is what I'm trying to get to, is do we think that now that the world is opening again, that now more people are going to fall into this yeah hole, that they're like, hey, I thought that this would be much better, but now the real hit comes? Or do we see it the other way around, that now the people already had the hit and now it's the good and the better period?
I think it really depends. It depends on what position you were in before and what position you are in after. I mean, it's not the easy answer, because if you lost your job and you couldn't do anything about it, you're in a worse position. But in every obstacle, there is an opportunity, because maybe you weren't doing something that you weren't happy with. Maybe now you can find a new passion. Maybe these, let's say 6, 7, 8 weeks that we had free, you found out what your new passion was, and you found out, now you know what to do with it. Now you know how to pursue it. And at the same time, maybe you were happy with what you were doing. I'll take Andy as an example. With Second Life, he mentioned it. Now with tourism, that to something else. He lost one of his babies. That was his business. And now he has to figure out, okay, what else am I going to do? But the good thing is, Andy no asing quieto. He didn't sit still, and he didn't think, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be down for a bit. It's normal. It's human. But after that, you picked yourself up and you started with Innovation C.
Yeah.
I think what one of the metaphors that I use many times is go sit at the sea and look at how the waves come to the shore, and that's your society. There is no wave crashing on the shore in the same way. They all come in different heights and with different foam on it, and some are more hard and some are more soft, and that's how society works, and that's how this will also happen. You, Luuk, I mean, you are very exceptional in this, that you just go and then you come up again. I saw it coming for a couple of days, and I went down, slide down, and I was like, okay, this is going to be bottom for me, and here I'm going to climb up. Desi also had her crush. Can you talk about that, Desi, how you experienced that?
Well, in the beginning, when I heard about the lockdown and this and that, I also felt like my own lockdown moment because I felt completely stuck and anxious. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. Will my business survive this? But then after 2 weeks or so, I was like, I'm fed up of crying and playing the victim role of everything. I have to pick myself, and that's how I subscribed in different courses online, and change your vibe, change your way of seeing things. And I believe that when you switch that button, you feel better. You attract your clients, you attract opportunities, and but it's still challenging. I mean, I'm scared for tomorrow, because tomorrow everything will be normal again. I feel like, okay, let's hope people will behave themselves, and that we won't expect like a second wave of the coronavirus. But yeah, it's emotionally, it's still challenging, but I try to be productive all day, just to do, if I have assignments, I work on my projects, but otherwise I just study. And that you get like another feeling than just, what I'm gonna do now, I'm cansada in casa, like, the thing, just make that switch. And yeah,
Just for the people at
it's the life lesson.
just for the
The
people at home.
conference is, yeah, you can finish, and then I'm going to close it off since we're already over time. But before
Okay.
we close off, I would like to ask everybody to go into the poll section and vote on which type of digital event they would like to participate in. I mean, we started up with digital conferences, but there are many different formats. I mean, this is different from the presentations. I think there's also room for a more interactive session where people, like the attendees as well, can join on stage and have a conversation. So please go into the poll section, vote on what you're interested in, and then I'm going to give the final word to Andy to close it off. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for joining. Andy, round it up.
Thank you very much. Well, Desi contacted me a couple of weeks ago and we had a very good conversation. And Desi will be writing and supporting Innovation C with her Dcommunicates. She will be writing a blog for innovationcure.com. Check out her new website, www.innovationcure.com. I just wrote the first blog for the website. There's another one from a young upcoming talent, Jade Mambra, who works for Go Weekly, and that also has not been sitting still during this COVID-19. So a lot of inspiring people that will share their knowledge and experience with us. And Desi will be one of the upcoming bloggers, but also editors for our website. And to really round off, I want to first of all thank every one of the faces here in the screen. I want to thank everyone that's in the chat. And I heard a couple of times that we have difficulty accepting compliments. This is something very valuable. Just as much as you give compliments, you also need to be okay to accept them, because you can't just eat and not process the food. You understand what I mean? You get obstipation. So you need to be able to accept compliments so you can grow and become bigger. There are plenty of people here. Desi is one of them. Somesh is one of them. Luuk is one of them. Oz is one of them. Erika is one of them. Evita is one of them. That all got me to cry in the last couple of weeks because of your compliments. So thank you all. You're all doing amazing work, whether you feel it or you see it or not. Just being here, that's enough. Thank you, ex-Haydee Tumba Farley, for being part of this and always supporting us. Another man that taught me how to accept compliments. You are all amazing, and you are all Innovation Cure. You are all Curaçao. Only together can we do this. So please join us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, or on Curaçao.io, and be part of this movement. Have a good evening. Talk to you all soon, and take that compliment and stick it in your pocket.
Thank you very much. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good day. Be safe. Don't go crazy tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Ayo.